Australian Phil Anderson. Now, he's one of the great daredevils on a bicycle.
Yes, we remember Anderson going down into Clonmel last year in the Nissan, where he took off and took all sorts of risks, and certainly he would be one of the favourites to win. I'd be looking forward to this time trial. Normally he doesn't look forward to time trials, Anderson, but this one he probably will.
Pagnin, Roberto Pagnin, he was very prominent recently in the Tour of Spain, won a couple of stages there, wore the yellow jersey, rode in the Olympics in 1984, and he'll be good downhill here on the Poggio as well. He'll be expecting a good time to get him up in the top 5 or 6. Just a reminder of this morning's, the first leg of this double day. Brookink, the winner, Phil Anderson was second, Robert Miller third, and Stephen Roach was fourth. And here's the world champion, Moreno Argentine of Italy.
Argentine we saw also in the Tour of Spain, but in actual fact he only rode the first 10 days of the Tour of Spain and then pulled out solely for the purpose of preparing for the Tour of Italy. He didn't want to do too much in the Tour of Spain, so he's obviously hoping to do well in this Tour of Italy.
The Italians, setting up the Giro every year, Pat, seem to love time trials and sprint finishes, perhaps to suit their own men.
Oh, they do, yeah. They've got good time trialists and good sprinters, Bontempi and so forth, and now we're looking at Roach on the start line.
Stephen Roach, surprisingly, not wearing a crash helmet.
No, he obviously he doesn't feel that it's all that necessary. We see some of them like Anderson wearing the pear-shaped helmets, but Roach feels that speed isn't going to be the important element today. It's probably staying upright and getting around the corners with losing the minimum of time.
Yeah, well, at least it's dry today as we look at Pop, an Austrian with the Swiss team finishing and putting himself into second place on the Poggio, 10:33. And now Roberto Pagnin, watch the time going through there. 10:28 is the lead so far, and now Pagnin has gone second to Fuller. It's all happening on the Poggio.
Yes, we're with Roach now on the descent. Roach not taking any risks, but good time trialists, and obviously will be up there in the placings.
Let's see how the world champion, wearing the world champion's rainbow jersey, does. Number 71, Moreno Argentine. He certainly won't be the leader. If he's in the top 10, he is in the top 10. He's in 7th place. 7th place then for Moreno Argentine. One of the world's greatest sprinters, perhaps the greatest sprinter, but how is he as a TT man, Bontempi? Meantime, here's Phil Anderson finishing. He's not going to be the winner downhill either, but it's going to be a very good time. In fact, it puts him second. And here's the man who won it last year, Pat.
Vincentini, and at the moment Vincentini and Roach, both in the same team, are very much having a battle between them. There's a psychological warfare going on as to who is going to lead this Carrera team in the Tour of Italy. Vincentini has started off very well by winning the prologue and establishing his position. Roach is up there and is very keen to establish his position in the early days of the race so that he can get the full support of the team. I don't think it's really going to be finished even today. I think it's going to take the best part of a week or so.
In the inset picture is Eric Brookink, the man who won uphill this morning. So both he and Vincentini are on the Poggio at the moment. And whilst we're looking at these, the Italian director unfortunately has missed Stephen Roach finishing, and Stephen Roach has finished in a time of 10 minutes 18, and Pat, he is the leader on the Poggio. How about that?
Amazing, really, and surprising. We know Roach is a great time trialist, one of the greatest in the world in actual fact, but really I wasn't expecting them to put up such a fine performance on a tricky descent such as this. Normally in a straight time trial out and back, or even a mountain hilly time trial, Roach can be up there with the best of them. But going down the hills, well, that wouldn't be usually thought of as one of Roach's fortes. And obviously he has done the best. He has done his best and has produced a very good ride. So it's a great start for Roach.
So that's a bonus day certainly for Stephen.
Oh, it certainly is, yeah. Now let's just wait now and see the last couple of riders down the hill, and see he's certainly not going to lose much time anyway today.
Brookink here. Eric Brookink is a 23-year-old Dutchman from the Panasonic team. That's Phil Anderson's team, if we may call it thus, because Phil is the leader of that team. He's in the inset picture. Vincentini, the 30-year-old Italian, is the man here who won, of course, as we said, the Giro d'Italia last year. Meantime, we're back to the pole. Piasecki, Lech Piasecki, finishing here, and he's very quick. Where will he be? Second. Stephen Roach still holding on, 10:18. Time trialist down the Poggio, he's only 7th best today. Guido Bontempi. And number 1 is Roberto Visentini from the Carrera team. As Pat McQuaid has said, he would be the leader perhaps of that team. We'll find out what happens during the Giro, whether he or Stephen will lead the team and who'll be defended. 1, 3, 4 here is Brookink. What a great morning he had, and what a body shape. Yes, really looking tremendously fit. So, these are the two now on the Poggio. Stephen Roach's time, remember, is 10:18, and that really is a brilliant time. Will it survive?
Hopefully it will, but let's just think of the strength and depth which that Carrera team has. They've Roach and Vincentini both capable of winning the Tour of Italy. They've Bontempi there, who did a very good time trial, and also will be winning several stages of the Tour of Italy when it comes to a sprint.
And then, of course, they have the team time trial to come, and Carrera have a magic team in that.
They have indeed. They won the team time trial in the Paris-Nice early on this year.
Lang finishing. 15th place, so no danger from him. Only 15th best down the Poggio for the Olympic silver medalist of 1984, Steve Bauer of Canada. Visentini again, a 30-year-old. As Pat said, he hasn't won a race since the Giro of last year. In fact, he didn't race all that much in 1986 afterward.
No, regarded very much in Italy as a playboy, and doesn't usually take such a heavy program as the likes of Roach and Kelly would take, but still very, very class, a lot of class, very classy rider, and very capable of winning this Tour of Italy. Approaching the finish now, Vincentini, and we're watching the time closely. He's not going to beat Roach.
No, Stephen survives that one. Stephen Roach, 10:18. Visentini in 4th place on the descent. Oh, and that leaves just one. Eric Brookink, the Dutchman. So Stephen Roach's descent. Surprised Pat that it was so quick. We know he's a good time trialist, but really dangerous with that almost scalextric bends down the Poggio.
Yes, as I said earlier, normally Roach would like to find his rhythm and like a nice steady roads and fairly flat roads, but the Poggio doesn't allow you to do that because you're braking and going around the bends, and it's surprising but a very, very good performance of Roach.
Now we can count it down, and he's going to survive, because there's no way Brookink is going to beat the time of 10:18. Anyway, we'll count him in. Stephen Roach on the descent of the Poggio is in the afternoon in San Remo, that's for sure, and that will be confirmed on the computer readout in a moment or two. Brookink finishes 3rd on the downhill. Upcoming now, the result of that descent. There you see Stephen 10:18, Piasecki at 4 seconds, Brookink at 7, Rominga at 8, and Visentini defending his Giro on the same time, 8. So, a great day in San Remo in the Giro d'Italia for Stephen Roach, really proving himself and moving to 2nd on the overall general classification. And there it is, Brookink in the pink jersey of leader, Stephen Roach at 14 seconds as 2nd, Piasecki at 21 seconds as 3rd, and the defending champion Visentini